Yeah, I'm Rob Stevenson from the Tech Museum in San Jose. And I've been pondering for some time about the same question that Ken asked. How do you get teachers to use this stuff? How do you make an educational experiment propagate in the real world so that it takes root and grows? And my own conviction after some time is that the openness to innovation increases as you go down the hierarchy from the administration to the teachers to the students. And Sam talked about communities of practice. Building a community of practice of teachers and students, I think is a helpful way to do it, and do it on the web, because in any institution you will have just a few pioneers that would be among the teachers that would be willing to try something. But if you can link them to their like-minded teachers in other institutions, then you can build a community of practice that will be self-supporting.
Sure. My name's Danielle Delancey, and I'm currently a content developer for CK12 Foundation. They're doing an initiative with science and math textbooks, but I was a former teacher, and I think it just goes back to what the panelists were saying, and that's time. And a lot of times you have the constraints of administration, parents, student needs. Openness to innovation, I think, is prohibited and just kind of stunted by lack of time to actually, and energy too. Everybody knows at the end of the day, you're constantly on, and you have a bunch of worries and a lot of things you have to do, and that's just kind of my take on it.
If you could set up a site that's sort of self-contained, and you could direct students to it, and they could go off and explore it, right? They could play with it, and make it compelling enough that they kind of really want to spend some time with it, then doesn't that sort of help address that problem to some degree? In other words, it doesn't require any time, really, essentially. I find that a lot of times when I teach, what students really appreciate is that just simply having the assignment, and then they'll go off and do it. They'll teach themselves. It's the best thing I can do. But they need the incentive to say, this is, I want you to write something up on this by this date or something like that. But then I'm done. And then I can go off and do something else, essentially, while they're teaching themselves. So does that address your problem? I'm just curious.
I taught middle grades, and so to let kids loose on the internet, even if it was a structured activity, it was very difficult to do just because of kids are always going to find ways to get in trouble, as adults do as well. But I think that it does, but then also too, just constraints in terms of finding the activities, being open and having them accessible, testing them, playing with them yourselves. It's not as easy as just having something right there and giving it. There's always a lot of back work, and then also too, just kind of, constraints in terms of what you have to teach in curriculum that you have to kind of get across.